men and also to your dream life.
I'm Coach B, and today we're going to go through just polarity and how to attract and keep that guy that you desire.
All right, let's get into it. So, for the new people that are here, what's up? I'm Natasha. I was a former single mom before I attracted my amazing dream husband, and we live our dream life now.
And again, I'm Coach B, former lifelong bachelor, former stressed lifelong bachelor,
Yes.
no kids, married my amazing wife.
Yeah, and of course, we are on a mission to help you ladies do the same thing. Now, we specialize in helping women in feminine energy, inner healing, and we're talking healing your nervous
Mm,
system, healing your hormones, healing your feminine energy so you can live that soft life, not only in dating, but in marriage.
mm.
So, this is exciting. I'm really excited to get into this.
So happy 4th of July to everyone
Yes.
out here excited to jump on and just share today. Also, make sure you get your questions in the comment
Mhm.
section so we can go through and answer those as well.
Okay, so let's go into the basics of attraction and polarity. And this is important if you are dating, if you're married, or maybe you just came out of divorce and you want to do things different. And babe, that's what we're about. There's no guilt, there's no shame. This is to help you up level. And this is my second marriage, so this is stuff that I've had to learn, to attract my amazing husband,
Mm,
and we also dated long distance before we
yes.
got engaged and married.
Yeah.
So here's the big thing that I want you girls to catch, okay? Is men are attracted to your energy. Now, yes, of course, your looks play a huge role in this. And if you've been in our world long enough, you know that we really help you with that in our
Yes.
channel and also in the Feminine Energy Academy. But polarity is all about having the opposite,
Mm,
right? So, attraction, in order to have attraction and
mm,
that desire, that magnetism, you need to have polar opposites. And the biggest thing that we see with women, you smart girls, you're all smart, super successful, but you think that men want the same things that
mm,
you want. So I know this is not all of the women, but a lot of times we'll see women are talking to men the way that they think, how they would want the man to
yes.
talk to them, or how they talk to their coworkers, or how they talk to their kids.
Mm,
They think, oh, men want this. Let me just show him. Let me just prove to him
mm.
how amazing I am with my degrees and my successes and all that. And that's not what attracts men to you.
Yes. And it's so important, even as we're giving this information about
Hmm.
sharing what we're attracted to as men, that you
Yeah.
don't wait because a man sometimes he won't even share with you. If you're
Hmm.
talking to him a certain way, if
Hmm.
you're dressing a certain way, what he'll do is he'll just be attracted to the woman
Yeah.
that's the opposite to him. So we
Yeah.
won't correct you. We
Hmm.
won't tell you, okay, you need to do this different, that different. Most men are going to allow you to be who you are, but if you're not the polar opposite in
Hmm.
your conversation, in how you dress, in how you act, you probably won't attract a man that wants to marry you and spoil you. It'll be more like you have a lot of cool guy friends.
Yeah.
You may go watch the game with them. They may just like talking to you. They may even want to do stuff sexually with you. But as far as
Hmm.
committing to you,
Hmm.
they won't commit to you. You probably won't know why. And for sure, they won't go through telling you, okay, this is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Men will take you as you are because we don't want to change you. We
Hmm.
don't want to give you all the tips on how to be what you're not.
Yeah.
Because if you're not that person, then most men will just move on.
And this is so subconscious. That's the big thing we want to teach you girls is most men, first of all, aren't even aware of this.
That's true.
And also, they're not going to tell it to you. It's not like my husband was aware of a lot of this
No.
stuff, some stuff a little bit, but he learned a lot more about this whole masculine energy,
Yeah.
feminine energy dynamics once we got together. And, I was explaining a lot of this stuff to him. So men, like provider type men, are more focused on working.
Mm,
They're focused on building businesses. They're focusing on providing.
mm,
They're not sitting around. They're not, typically trying to figure out how do I have a better relationship. Some men are, but a lot of men aren't. And so this is your competitive
mhm.
advantage as a woman is really
Yes.
understanding, ladies, what that masculine energy man craves
Yes.
subconsciously, what he actually wants.
Yes.
And then this is why we always say to our ladies, it is the easiest time in the history of dating to date. And, just this week we had another marriage
Yes.
to prove that.
Yes.
So,
And a lot of times as well, before we go into the points,
yeah.
men can't put arms and legs to it. Men
Yeah.
don't understand, okay, this is specifically what I need. A lot of times we'll say, as far as looks,
Yeah.
maybe, family type of lady. But when it goes down to breaking down the polarity side of things,
Yeah.
a lot of times men can't and just don't feel like going through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they know what they want when they see it, they go after it, us as men, but we're not spending a lot of times journaling. We're
Mm-hmm.
not writing like, okay, this is what I need. I need her to be
They don't have a
five.
love list. You don't have a love
No,
list, babe.
5'5", dark skin, none of this. It's just like, okay, there she goes. Then they,
Oh, I like that.
men go after what they desire. So
Yeah, that's typically what it's like with men. They're like, okay, she caught my
yeah,
attention. I like how she looks. Then he conversates with her, and he's like, and he's saying this to himself.
yes,
I just like how I feel in her
yeah,
presence.
yeah.
And they can't explain it. A lot of times they can't explain it, but they just feel good in your presence.
Mm.
And they could be dating different women,
Mhm.
right? A lot of men have rosters, just like we teach our women to rotationally date, not sleep with a person, but
Mhm.
just rotationally date. And it's the women that really they're feeling that connection with
Yeah.
that they can't really explain that they, end up pursuing.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry,
Let
do you
me
want?
let me
Yeah,
add
yeah,
one
yeah.
more thing
Go for it,
because this
baby.
is key as well. I know we're going to jump in, but
Yeah.
men aren't looking for women to be competitive with. Like, okay, I'm making 200 grand. She's making 200 grand.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and build this empire together.
Mhm.
Let's be that couple that everyone looks at like, man, that's that boss couple right there.
Mhm.
Men don't care about, in a
Yeah.
sense, don't care about what you're doing financially because
Mhm.
even though you may build together, that's just part of being married where
Yeah.
you're building together. But men aren't going in depending. Most healthy masculine energy men aren't going in depending on, okay, once we do this together. So you don't
Mhm.
have to talk about what you need. He needs to have this type of money. Most men aren't already prepared
Yeah.
to be in position or are doing things so they're able to take care of things 100%. If it's now or if
Yeah.
it's in 2 years from now, they're looking to be in that position. So it's not about stacking up together and doing this. It's about him having the plan. And what you bring into the relationship will be helpful, but he's not going in dependent on it. Most healthy masculine energy men.
Oh, that's so good, babe. Like, really hear what he is saying. And we're talking masculine energy men,
Mhm.
not men that are going to mooch off you and you
Yeah.
need to provide for. It's very different. And what we tell our girls is men innately are wired this way. Just think of sperm, right? The sperm,
Yeah.
they're designed to chase, to compete, to go after a goal, the egg.
Yeah.
So it is wired into their DNA. But the thing is with women is they're like, well, how come I don't see those types of men?
Mm.
Because they're not activated in their
Mm.
provider energy with you, babe.
Mm.
This is why you'll see a man that treats one woman totally differently in a different relationship, be a situationship with her, kind of drag things out. And then he goes into another, relationship with a
Mm.
different girl. He's dating another girl, and they're engaged and married, and he's fully providing in
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
we see this
It's so
because
true.
the masculine is always mirroring our energy. So for my ladies that are stuck in situationships, you're dating guys that are breadcrumbing you, that are low effort, low value. They're not showing up consistently. They're mirroring your energy.
Mm.
And not to say this from a place of judgment, because we're not about judgment on
Yeah.
this channel. This is about self awareness and then getting the skills that you need as a woman to really understand polarity and
Mm.
attraction, with the masculine, with the healthy masculine in dating and in marriage.
Yes.
And shout out to the guys that have been watching. They're like, yeah, this is, Coach B is preaching right now. And I also saw someone from Japan, which is
Mm.
so cool. We love our international people. We actually coach so many people internationally. We have people from Thailand, from India, from Dubai, from Africa. One of our new girls that just got married this week was from Africa.
Yes.
One of our ladies that just got engaged last month was from the Caribbean. So we dated internationally as well. So we love giving you girls the tools to really help with the polarity and the magnetism within your dating and marriage life.
Yes.
So, do you want to add something, or
No, you got it,
okay?
babe. Go ahead.
I'm just seeing some of your girls' comments and guys' comments, and you guys are really fascinated about the attachment stuff, and this
Mm.
is really good. So, for those of you that are new here, we've been teaching a lot of the girls lately about attachment styles. Now, if you want a calm nervous system, ladies, you want calm, balanced hormones, you want to feel calm and secure while you're dating,
Mm,
while you're in a marriage, even around your money and things like that. A lot of it has to do with your subconscious
mm,
attachment
yeah,
style. And I haven't spoken too much about this before, and the reason is people get stuck with labels. And I don't want you to label yourself, but at the same time, I find it is really helpful to understand
yeah.
what your patterns are so that you can shift them.
Mm,
And that is the biggest thing that I specialize in, is helping women go from that anxious attachment style, avoidant attachment style, completely dysregulated nervous system, which by definition you cannot be in your soft, magnetic feminine energy if you're, fluctuating between that, to a nice, soft,
yes.
regulated nervous system, which softens your energy as a woman. Which here's the important part, ladies. Not only does it help you have nice, balanced hormones, but that's what makes you so
Yes.
magnetic to the masculine, is you're calm, you're unbothered. It doesn't mean that you have the walls up.
Mm,
It doesn't mean you're avoidant and you shut down. It doesn't mean you're in your chasing
mm,
energy after men because you're so anxious. No, you are calm, you're detached. And these are the women that end up getting married
yes.
in our program. Yeah.
And it's so important as we bring awareness to this,
Hmm.
because this is what we deal with on a daily basis. When maybe when it's time to pay bills, we
Hmm.
you get anxious, or maybe when the relationship is at a certain point or you're feeling a certain way, it's that same feeling that comes up. So it's so important to really understand, to be aware of it, so you can start using the tools that we talk about in
Yeah.
the Feminine Energy Academy. Because if you don't, it won't just affect your relationship,
Hmm.
it'll affect your money, it'll affect your health. Because a lot of times in those moments, we have the same response. We
Hmm.
freeze up, we just go ghost,
Hmm.
whatever it is, we avoid it.
Yeah.
Instead of paying the bill, we just say, okay, this
Hmm.
this this somebody who I don't want to speak to, so I'm
Hmm.
not going to respond to the message, or whatever the case is. And once you're able to really identify it, you're aware of it, and start using the tools that we talk about, then this not only helps your relationship life, but this helps your life overall, because now you're able to face it, and it allows you to move to the next level, be it relationships where you may have always gotten stuck at a certain point. Like, okay, whenever it's time to meet the parents, to meet the family, you get anxious or you start getting avoidant. But once you're able to really deal with that, you're able to move forward to the next level in the relationship. And this is really going to help you overall, because this is something that us as well that we've dealt with,
Hmm.
as far as avoidance, as far as
Hmm.
anxiety in certain situations.
Hmm.
And until we were able to really identify and be aware of it, it was a continuation of it. And
Yeah.
now when those feelings come up, we're aware and we have the tools that's needed so we don't stay in that place.
So good. I have a question for you in a second, babe. But
Okay.
I just wanted to re-emphasize for the ladies watching or whoever's watching right now, where everyone around you is mirroring your energy. So until you heal these patterns, first of all, becoming aware of the patterns and then healing them, you will continue in these cycles.
Yes.
And even if the perfect man walked into your life, or I handed you $1 million,
Mm,
if your nervous system doesn't feel safe and secure
yes.
in those types of relationship dynamics, because money is also a relationship dynamic. A relationship with a man obviously is a relationship dynamic, and it's mirroring your
Yes.
relationship within you.
Yes.
So until you feel safe and secure and regulated, you will subconsciously
Mm,
push it away
yes.
and you won't realize why. And somebody had asked, where is your attachment quiz? I have a really detailed attachment style quiz available to you for free in the Feminine Energy Academy, and it is under this. And they're asking some, I think she's in the Feminine Energy Academy, she wasn't sure
Okay.
where it is. It's located, I have a certain program that's called Manifestation Activation Audios.
Mm,
And in that manifestation section, if you scroll down to the bottom, no, actually it's at the very top. When you
mm,
click on that, under start here, it will say discover your attachment style. And also tomorrow, ladies, I'm starting off a series, we both are, for the next 3 weeks, where I'm going to teach you how your attachment style is showing up in your body,
Mm,
like with your weight, how you eat food, how you take care of your body, subconscious self-sabotaging, holding on to weight, like being in that hiding energy or anxious energy. Next week, we're going to be teaching you how attachment styles are showing up in your dating and your marriage life and how
mm,
to shift that. And then in the third week, which is the week after that, I'm going to be teaching you how attachment styles are showing up with your money and in business
mm.
and in social media, because this is how you do one thing is how you do
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, just want to throw that in
Yes.
there. I have a question for
Yes.
you.
Okay. Shout out to DJ from Ghana.
Oh, from Ghana. That's
Yes.
amazing. What's up? Okay, so um, we were talking this week
Mhm.
and I mentioned something to you. You're like, yeah, men do this on purpose. And you said it so quickly. I was like, we need to tell the ladies this. And I think I can't remember the context of it, but we were talking about women that haven't done their inner healing
Okay.
and they're anxious. And do you remember that
I
conversation?
don't remember that
And you were
conversation.
like, yeah, men specifically target women like that, have the daddy issues, have the masculine energy. Oh yeah. We were talking about, if they haven't healed from, the past
Yeah.
divorce or the past relationship or, the baby daddy issues or the daddy issues. And these women typically are a little bit more anxious and
Yes.
clingy. And then you had mentioned how a lot of times men will target these
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
um, for that
Well,
reason.
and
Yeah.
I overall I kind of
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, but
Yes.
for in generally speaking, men that aren't healed in certain areas will target like the single moms, they'll
Yeah,
target
that's
the
what you're saying.
divorcees,
Mhm.
they'll target women that haven't been healed
Mhm.
and are just blurting stuff out or giving away all the secrets of what happened in the past.
Mhm.
Okay, my previous relationship or the father of my children, he didn't do this. I don't, he doesn't follow up, and that guy just becomes that person. He's
Mhm.
just okay. If the previous guy didn't do this, and
Yeah.
fellas, we know this is how it works. But again, I don't have a horse in a race, so I'll give the ladies the secrets.
Yeah.
But when men aren't healed, it's like, okay, what area can I attack in her
Mhm.
weakness? Because this is how men think when we're talking about being competitive sports.
Mhm.
Okay, what weakness does this person have? Once that weakness is shown, we're going to attack the weakness. So so once I see as a man, once the men see that, okay, you have father issues, you have the father of your child, he's not showing up in the way that you need him to,
Mhm.
and it's just on you, it's in your energy, you may even
Mhm.
talk about it, he'll become whoever he needs to become until he gets what he wants. And
Mhm.
a lot of times those situations are situationships. They don't turn into relationships
Yeah.
because you're not healed. So a healthy man won't most healthy men, I'll say that, won't have the patience to work through that challenge with you. They'll understand, but they'll
Mhm.
move on if they're really ready to get into a relationship. And then
Yeah.
most unhealed men will just take advantage of that situation. That's why it's so important to get healing in those areas, even understanding you'll never be totally healed in every area. It's always, and when I say healed, I mean like 100%, you know everything that you
Mhm.
need to do. We're
Mhm.
always growing,
Mhm.
evolving, but it's certain levels that men understand that you're not at. And when you talk a lot, when you just have to let him know, all the work you've done, he's going to take advantage of that. And potentially he'll use that against you to get what he wants.
And sometimes it's subconscious,
Hmm.
right? And this is why so many adults end up in situationships. People that have been divorced, they've gone through a loss, breakup, you end up in a
Yes.
situationship because it's comfortable. It's comfortable, it's safe, especially if you haven't healed rejection wounds. Ladies, you haven't healed that. So it's almost like, there's no label on it. There's no clear
Yeah.
direction. So even though you want to get married or you want a husband, deep down at a nervous system
Yes.
level, it doesn't actually feel
Mhm.
safe. And then, so until you heal that, you're not going to be able to attract or maintain a man
Yes.
that wants to pursue it all the way to
Yeah.
marriage. You will subconsciously self sabotage and you'll be frustrated, and it'll create more pain and drama for you
Mm.
because it lowers your self esteem as a woman,
Yeah.
because it's like, I'm attracting these guys
Yeah.
that don't want to show up for me. They don't want to marry me. They just want to fool around with me. That destroys a
Yes.
woman's self confidence,
Yes.
right? But it feels comfortable And it feels nice to get a little bit of attention, and you get, those dopamine hits
Hmm.
every time you guys connect or every time you text. So it keeps you chemically addicted to those situations, but it blocks your husband.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
this is what we all understand is
Hmm.
when we have two unhealed people who
Hmm.
are dating each other or situationships, it becomes transactional on both sides. Both people can take advantage of each other, but
Yeah.
specifically what we're talking about today is helping the ladies because
Yeah.
we need you to heal because your energy is what men feed off of.
Yes.
So if your energy is correct, you'll attract the right guy. Then the energy that you're giving will show him that, okay, I'm already a wife, I'm already healed in these areas. Your energy is not coming towards him, you're allowing him to come towards you.
Hmm.
And a lot of times relationships work out better with that, but it's about getting the healing for the women so
Hmm.
we don't have these continual cycles. Because really thinking when we see so much stuff online, everyone's like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, but focusing on yourself, getting that healing
Hmm.
will help you. Everyone else you can't concern yourself with. You
Hmm.
have to do what you need to help you get to where you're going.
So good. And as a woman, you will notice, because we see this all the time with our women, as they heal, like the women that come into the Feminine Energy Academy, they've only been there for a few days or a week. And, we give them audio activations.
Yes.
I teach them how to re regulate their nervous system, be in their feminine energy, teach them how to communicate with the masculine, the feminine way.
Yes.
What will happen is they will start to see immediate changes. They will start to attract more men. They're out at the grocery store, they're out and about. We
Yes.
hear these stories every day with the ladies in our Feminine Energy Academy. And or the ones that are married, they start to attract differently from their husband,
Hmm.
even. And so that is a sign, ladies, that is a sign that you actually are shifting, that you actually are doing your inner healing, that your energy is changing because how men respond to you, not based on you explaining yourself to him. Oh, I want a man that's, allows me to be my femininity. I'm in my feminine energy. I'm this, this, this,
Hmm.
this. No, if you're finding yourself having to explain
Yeah.
feminine energy to a man, you are not in your feminine energy.
That's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And even going through, and we talked about it earlier,
Yeah.
as you're going through that rotational dating, just you getting in position where you're trying to set yourself up to be found by your husband, the one thing you don't want to do, because guys never do this as well.
Yeah.
Guys never explain the fact that they have rosters, that they're dating multiple women at the same time. And for women, we're not saying for you to sleep with these guys,
No.
but you have to make sure you're not committing yourself to someone who's not committed to you, for
Mhm.
someone who may be needing a commitment from you before they're able to move forward and to really give themselves to you. No, if they're not committed to you, showing in their actions, if they're not asking you to be exclusive for the purpose of marriage,
Mhm.
then you want to rotationally date, but you don't want to go around explaining to them, okay, this is what rotational dating is. No. What we always tell our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, and even the ladies on YouTube, is if people are asking you, okay, what are you doing? Who are
Yeah.
you dating? I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating with the intent of marriage. Anything outside of that, you don't have to explain. That's self-explanatory.
Oh, that's so good. And we're seeing a lot more men join our community, which is amazing. Guys, if you want to connect with our ladies, we also have another community called Dating for Marriage. And you can jump in there and you can message the ladies. Now,
Hmm.
here's my disclaimer though, not all the women in the Dating for Marriage community are in the feminine energy community.
Right.
And there's a very clear difference between the women. The women that are in the feminine energy community, they have done their inner work, they've done their inner healing. Those are women that know what a man wants,
Hmm.
needs, that respect, that admiration that men want and crave. They're working on their triggers and
Yes.
they're calm and they're unbothered. Those are the women that are in the Feminine Energy Academy, and they're gorgeous because we teach them how to up level their looks as well. The ladies in the Dating for Marriage community, some of them are not in our FEA yet. So that's just my disclaimer. And the ladies that are watching that are only in the Dating for Marriage community, I really encourage you to
Yes.
jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, because I can just tell with how you say things, the messages you're putting out, how you've created your profiles, that you need help. You're not going to attract healthy men. And so this is something that we also specialize in, is helping you with your dating
Yes.
profiles, really teaching you how to, show up physically, understand the male gaze, understand male psychology, but then also how to communicate with the masculine, which is something that we're going to be going on again tomorrow in our private masterclass in the Feminine Energy Academy, where we go deep and we can actually give you feedback. So if you want to go on the dating apps, or you're just curious, might not be on the dating apps yet, but you're curious how to create a profile, how, what images you should use, what type of photos, what you should say, you definitely want to jump in the FEA right now, get that training, and then tomorrow you can ask your questions, because that's where we
Yeah.
coach our ladies.
That's
Yeah.
what, yeah, we go a lot deeper. So Harry's Guitar said, I love your vibes.
Thank you.
Dr. Spencer, great afternoon, wonderful couple. Good energy coming from you both.
We love you
We
guys.
definitely appreciate it. We do have a question from DJ. Says, my question is, when a woman says she's healing and she's not ready to be in any relationship for now, what does that mean? And if I also have feelings for her, what should I do to win her heart?
Ooh, I love that
Yes.
question. Do you want to
Yes.
go, baby?
Well, I'll just answer the first question first. When a woman says she's healing and she's not ready to be in any relationship for now, what does that mean? And that can mean a number of things, but my advice to you, if she's saying that to you, then back away, give her space, because it could be that she may not be attracted to you. For some reason, it could be, just her attraction to you and seeing herself with you. Or it could be that she's actually healing
Mm-hmm.
and you really want to give her that space and time, because if she's acknowledging the fact that it's some areas that she needs healing in, then that's a great thing that she's able to be aware of that. And just trying to push it or anything wouldn't be ideal. Now, if you're friends already, or if you know this person from work, depending on what environment you're in, you can still keep in contact with this person. But as far as pushing and trying to make a relationship out of it, I'll tell you the same thing I tell the ladies in situations like this, is you really have to make sure that you're continuing to date.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to date,
Yeah.
ladies. Continue to keep yourself out there, because a lot of qualities that you see in her, you can still find in other women. You don't want to be so locked into she's the one.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be the one. No, continue dating. And if the opportunity comes back around where she's potentially ready or things have changed, great. But get your eyes off her solely.
Mm-hmm.
Open yourself up to other women who are healed, women that are ready to get married, women that have done the work.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to find that right one for you. But definitely going after her, doing all this extra stuff when her energy isn't receptive, is not necessarily anything that's going to make her want you more. So only go after women, and we say this all the time too. Only go after women that that want you coming after them. Like who likes you. Don't go liking somebody that doesn't even notice you or doesn't see you in that way.
So good. Okay, so I'm going to add to that. I echo everything that Coach B just said. Here's the thing. First of all, you sound like a really good guy, because just the fact that you're asking that type of
Hmm.
question says a lot about
Yes.
you. So I just want you to know that. And so this is how women are. Okay, we got the unhealed ones and we got the healed ones. The unhealed ones typically will go after the bad boys,
Hmm.
and they actually are not really attracted to the good guys. And this is why we're, out on YouTube trying to heal these women. We're like,
Exactly.
stop going after these bad guys that don't want to show up for you, ladies.
Yeah.
But until she actually heals, she's not going to be attracted to a good guy.
Hmm.
She's going to be attracted to men that are ghosting her, that are not showing up consistently, that are hot and cold. She's going to be attracted to men that are based on purely
Yeah.
physical looks, even if he treats her like crap or just wants to be in a situationship with her. Those are the types of guys she will be attracted to. And unfortunately, she'll be turned off of the nice
Yeah.
guys, right? But you don't need to change,
Yes.
right? Like there's going to be women that have done their healing, like the women that we teach in the Feminine Energy Academy, that are looking for men that are good guys, that
Mm.
are pursuing them, that are trying to figure out, hey, what can I do to make you happy and
Yeah.
feel good? But those are the healed women. So exactly what Coach B is saying, take your energy off of her and move on.
Mhm.
And how attraction works, whether it's the masculine or the feminine, once you take your energy off the opposite sex and you move on with your life, meaning you are up leveling, like
Mhm.
you are not at home feeling sad about about this girl. You are up leveling. You are working. You're at the gym. You're getting, you're working out. You're working on your business. You're working on personal development. Coach B has a master class for the guys, by the way, in the dating community, just for the men about how to
Yes.
get your dream girl. You're doing stuff like that. And I promise you that as you're doing that, you're going to have multiple
Yeah.
women that are going to start, being attracted to you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so important because it's guys that I coach that are in similar situations.
Yeah.
And the main thing, as you said, babe, that you don't want to do is start changing and saying,
Yeah.
okay, they're attracted to this. They're attracted when, I just say anything to them. These aren't the type of ladies that you
Yeah.
want. You want to continue to be the healed, whole version of yourself, the provider, the protector, the
Yeah.
masculine energy. And as you change as far as your attitude or approach in looking at how they respond, and you're only going after the ones that are giving you that same energy back, then you'll find yourself attracting wives, just
Yes.
find yourself attracting women that are ready for committed relationships, are ready to get married, but don't change who you are,
Hmm.
because those type of guys who just say anything, do anything, aren't necessarily in their masculine. It's like those dopamine hits for the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
Everything is hot and heavy at the beginning,
Yeah.
then things fall off, and it's a continual cycle of that. And I'm saying this because I had a time in my life when I wasn't healed in those areas,
Yeah.
and I wasn't in relationships. I mean, I was a bachelor for 40 years. So
Yeah.
being a bachelor for that long, I didn't have the tools, or I wasn't doing the things needed to get into committed relationships. I would meet people, maybe go out on a date, but it was some things on the
And
inside
then
of
go
me.
have a Bible study after.
Exactly. Bible study
I'm just
back
kidding.
home. But it was some we haven't dated anybody besides each other. So that's our little joke.
Oh, we're
But
just kidding.
it's
Yeah.
really making sure that you
Yeah.
stay healed and whole, because
Yeah.
even a lot of guys that are doing, like, that are dating a lot of women, in deep inside, it's not as fun as they try to make it look.
Hmm.
It's because it's a lot of work to talk to different people,
Hmm.
to try to set up dates, and whatever you're doing. So most men, I don't care if they're totally healthy,
Hmm.
don't want to spend that much time, energy, and resources
Hmm.
dating multiple people. But when you're in your healed place as a man, then you're able to relax and say, okay, I'm able to give her all my energy, and you'll attract that if you stay in that right place.
Yeah, I mean, women are attracted to men that have things going on,
Yeah.
right? So as long as you have things going on, you're going to attract women. And when he's saying don't change yourself, what he's talking about is like don't become a bad guy, because
Yeah.
some guys become jaded and it's
Yes.
like, oh, when I treat women like crap,
Exactly.
I attract more women. No, you're attracting unhealthy women
Yes.
that are used to trauma bonding and have the anxious attachment
Mm.
style,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we're saying. We're saying don't change who you are, like being a good guy,
Yes.
being a nice guy, but you might want to still work on up leveling yourself,
Hmm.
right?
Definitely.
What we're saying is work on your business, work
Yes.
on your your skills,
Yes.
work on your body, those types of things. Naturally you're going to attract women when you
Yes.
do those things. Work on your relationship with God, all that stuff, and you will attract a wife. You'll
Yeah.
attract a healthy woman, not a woman that is triggered and disrespectful and not in her feminine. Yeah.
And we have.
Did we
I,
freeze again?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
Hopefully, it might just be my phone. Let me know if
Okay.
you all can hear us. Natural Beauty, let us know if you can see and hear us, and if we're
Hey Tisa.
frozen or
Hey
not.
Christy. Okay, you can keep going, baby.
So this is Ngozi Gift. Says, I'm focusing on fixing myself, scared of relationships as of now.
Okay, Ngozi. Um, First of all, we want to be out of the energy of I'm scared. Okay. Because, and the great thing about what you're saying is that you are working on yourself.
Mhm.
So if anyone that's listening right now, if you're feeling scared about dating, you're scared about dating apps, you're scared, and this is like super honest, you're scared about dating apps, you're scared about communicating with the masculine, you don't have the skills. What I really, really encourage you to do is get healing in that area. And
Mhm.
healing doesn't mean I'm just going to stop dating and not talk to anybody and go scroll on TikTok and
Yeah.
watch Netflix. That's not what healing is. Healing is so
Yes.
intentional. Okay. So I'll use myself as an example. I lost my first marriage. My first husband passed away from cancer. I was widowed with 4 little kids.
Mm,
But even though I was a complete mess,
mm,
complete mess, I was so intentional about my healing. And because I was so intentional about my healing and my glow up,
mm.
so physically taking care of myself, my hormones, healing my nervous system, healing my traumas, and understanding the masculine, I was able to attract the most amazing man on the planet. And I'm literally happier than I've ever been,
Yes.
ever. And so, but it's because I was so intentional.
Mm,
So for all my people that are listening right now, if you're coming out of divorces, coming out of breakups, or maybe you've never even been married before, these are the types of people that we coach. Be so
yes.
intentional about your healing, because once your nervous system is feeling nice and secure and regulated, dating is going to feel fun.
Mm,
It's going to be so much fun. If you do it the way we teach, you won't be attached to all these guys. You're going to have multiple men that are pursuing you and want to marry
mm-hmm.
you and provide for you. And you're going to have a nice, calm nervous system in the process. So if that's new for you and you want it, then this is why we have a free trial in the Feminine Energy
Yeah.
Academy, so that we can teach you those things. You literally can log on today and go and binge watch our dating content, our inner healing content, our nervous system re-regulating content, our hormone and weight loss content. All of that is in there for you. And if it resonates with you, great. And if it doesn't, that's fine too.
So good. So true too. I know.
Really good, really great questions, so
Great
everybody.
questions. We have Claire, who's in the Feminine
Oh, yes.
Energy
Hey, Claire.
Academy. Hey, Claire. She said, I needed this advice 26 years ago. LOL, 21 years married and finally healing with your teachings in the FEA.
Oh, so good. Yeah, we have married women in there. We have
Yes.
married women in there. We have women that have been in abusive situations coming out. We have women going through divorce, just coming out of divorce. And we have women that have never been married.
Yeah.
We have women that are about to get engaged. This is a huge thing. We have women that are about to get
Yeah.
engaged. They've attracted their provider guy, and they want to not self-sabotage it. So they're in there just working on their nervous system re-regulating, really understanding their feminine energy, how to embody it, and really understanding how to communicate with the masculine, like communicating your needs, communicating your desires, but the feminine energy way. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so important as well, even for Claire,
Yeah.
being that she's been married 26 years. She's been married 21 years.
Yeah. And she's a mom of 4 as
And
well.
she's a mom of 4. The good thing is, wherever we're at now, we're at a perfect place in our life because all the experiences that you had brought you here. So it's
Mm-hmm.
never too early or never too late for that
Yes.
healing, because it's when you recognize it, when you
Yeah.
recognize the areas that need to grow, that you need to grow,
Yeah.
that you need to heal. That's the perfect time. So even Claire being married as long as she has, being in the FEA and seeing that healing, trust me, your partner,
Mm-hmm.
your husband, I don't care if it took 30 years, your husband's going to appreciate the work that you put in and the changes that you've made, and it's going to help you so much as well. So definitely anyone who's been married or feel like, okay, I should have done this a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the time, jump into FEA and get what you need, because your life is still super important and you're
Mm-hmm.
young, energetic, and you have so much time to grow and to make those changes that's needed.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I mean, I'm doing this marriage completely different compared to my first marriage, and that's part of that up leveling. And one of the biggest things is I'm not abandoning myself
Yes.
anymore. And this is for so many women and so many moms, where we just, the martyr mom, you sacrifice
Mhm.
yourself, you take care of your kids, you take care of business, you take care of your husband or men that you're dating, and you completely neglect yourself. And I don't do that anymore.
Mm.
And that's what keeps you so magnetic and
Yes.
feeling good. Like, I'm about to turn 40 and I feel amazing after 4 kids. Actually, I have to shout myself out for a second.
Yes.
This morning, we measured my waistline and I was at 25 inches.
Yes.
Yes, I've been
Come
doing
on.
my stomach vacuuming
Yes.
because,
Consistently.
and you guys might be like, okay, that's not that exciting. But since I married my husband,
Yeah.
who's amazing, we have such a secure relationship where he makes me feel so loved and so seen and doesn't judge me.
Mm.
And I put on weight. I had
Yes.
like, relationship weight is a real thing.
I didn't notice much,
No,
but
he didn't, because he's amazing, right? But as women, we notice all of a sudden the clothes don't fit,
Mm.
at all, or barely. And it was just because, my husband's always taking me out on dates, and he's
Mm.
from Chicago, and
Yes.
people from Chicago know how to eat,
Yes.
right? And so I was eating like him. And, I put on some weight. So anyway, just recently, I was like, okay, we're not about that life, Natasha.
Mhm.
So even though I am safe and secure, feeling safe and secure in a relationship and in my nervous system, I'm also from a place of self-love, taking
Mm.
better care of my body.
Yes.
So yeah, I was able to lose a couple
Yes.
inches. I was happy about that.
Congratulations. No, that was big because I was there when she measured about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
So to see it now, it shows that eating different, and this is something that she's doing
Yeah.
on her own.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely don't discourage it, but I'm
Yeah.
not going telling her, you have to do this or that.
No.
She already knows to take care of herself, just like I already know that I need to make sure I take care of her as
Yes,
well. So
exactly.
these are things that you don't have to go around telling each other. When you do, if you have to go around telling each other these things, then there's some areas that you need to have conversations in before you move forward.
Yeah, well, and also, ladies, in order for you to feel magnetic in your feminine energy, you need to have balanced hormones.
Mm.
Because let's just be real for a second. If your hormones are all over the place, you're not going to feel cute. You're
Mm.
going to feel tired. You're going to feel triggered. You're going to feel emotional. You're probably going to pick a fight with your husband or the guys you're dating. You're
Mm.
going to feel anxious, right? Those perimenopause symptoms. Ladies, right? PCOS, have a hard time losing weight. This is why in our programs, I also include weight loss and hormone
Mm.
programs because that is your starting point as a
Yes.
woman, whether you're married or dating or you just got out of divorce. Your starting point is taking care of your body.
Yes.
And this time, we're not going to abandon ourselves.
Mm.
We get to have it all. We get to have
Yes.
that rich wife life where you take care of yourself
Yes.
and you can attract your amazing husband that also wants to spoil you.
Yes. And
Yeah.
fellas, trust me, you get into the relationship with the right woman,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change you as well. I know when
Mm-hmm.
we first got together, I had bloating, and I've
Mm-hmm.
never been like overweight or anything like that, but I had bloating because of the foods that I was eating, and came right in. That stuff changed within weeks. All of that changed.
He was pre-diabetic too.
Yes, pre-diabetic as
Yeah.
well. So all of that stuff changed when I started making changes. So guys, I know we can take care of so much stuff on our own, but it's
Mhm.
important to get healing because of what she brings to the relationship is something beneficial that most men aren't doing or taking care
Yeah.
of themselves because we're so busy working, building businesses, so focused on the next move that
Mhm.
sometimes we can neglect our health or certain areas of our life that we shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you have any other questions there, but
Yeah, I do,
just
but go ahead.
just just to keep things super real with you guys, the reason why we're on here and we're trying to get our message out to as many people as possible was even in my first marriage, my first husband passed away at 37 years
Mm,
old from colon cancer.
mm,
And he's from Ghana, by the way, for the guy that's from Ghana. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it's not worth it. It's not
mm.
worth you, basically killing yourself
Yes,
trying to build businesses and
yes,
up level and chase and hustle hard and all this stuff. Or if you're married, just taking care of everything and then neglecting your health
yes,
for the man and the woman,
yes,
both of us.
yes,
So this is why, this is a thing that we're doing so differently now where yes, we get to have fun and
yes,
we love to work hard because that's
mm,
just, we both love
yes,
it. We love to show up. We love to build businesses. But what's different this time is we're taking care of ourselves
yes.
individually and then together as a couple.
And
Yeah.
it's so, and the funny thing is too, in this situation, and we know most guys that, are provider type energy guys, when it comes down to spending money on certain things, we can
Yeah.
kind of just say, okay, we don't need to. But in our
Yeah.
situation, spending money on things that are preventative
Mm-hmm.
instead of waiting till something happens. And in our mind, sometimes as men, it's like, well, we don't need to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, understanding being previously pre-diabetic and also knowing that her previous husband died of cancer, these measures that we're taking, and we're probably, and all of it's natural, but we're
Yeah.
probably taking 3, 4, 5 things a day. And I'm like, another, you found something else to buy, huh? Just sending me
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
in a text message, like, okay, let's order this. I'm like, okay, what's this? And she's explaining it. And I'm like, there's no reason we shouldn't order it. I
Yeah.
don't care what I come up with in my mind. If this is healthy or and she's done the research, this is potentially going to help us. Let's go ahead and get it because what she's been doing up to this point has been helpful.
Yeah.
I'm feeling much better, full of
Yeah.
energy. So I have to allow her in this area to
Mhm.
go ahead and
Yeah.
and do whatever's needed to make sure we're good, the kids are good, and
Mhm.
we're healthy. So, guys,
Yeah.
in certain areas, especially an area that you're not super trained or skilled
Yeah.
in, allow her to have say so in that area.
Mhm.
And even if you don't want to spend that money,
Mhm.
if you have it or if you're
Mhm.
able to get it,
Mm.
trust me, it's better to invest in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because then her hormones are going to feel good, and that means her libido is going to be feeling good. And then, of course, the men benefits from that.
Exactly.
So I don't usually have any issues, any pushback from the supplements.
Nothing at all. We
Yeah.
we do have another question as
He's
we
like,
went
change the
off on a
subject.
tangent. But
Yeah.
no, I think it was good to even
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
that because
definitely.
really all the stuff that we're telling them health wise, relationship wise, money wise, none of that matters if you're not healthy, if
Yeah.
you're not, whole, if you don't have the energy needed to
Hmm.
really enjoy what you're putting the work in for.
Yeah, exactly. So good. Keep
So,
your questions
yeah.
coming.
So next question says, I met a beautiful woman who had a baby already.
Hmm.
Okay, I did too. She had
Four.
four,
Yeah.
and we both agreed to be in a real relationship. I'm guessing for a few months ago or something. She started answering calls from her baby daddy. She
Mm.
was using my attention to heal herself. Why?
Oh.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, in the relationship where you agreed to move forward with it, she had a child already, which at our age, 30s, 40s, that's probably a high probability that both people have children. But what it comes down to is what you're attracting.
Hmm.
Because I believe this is DG again, who spoke earlier about the lady that he wanted to pursue, who at the time doesn't want to have a relationship. What are you attracting? Making sure you're healed and whole, not what you're attracting, what you're attracted to, what you're making sure you're healed and whole. So you're not attracted to the women that either aren't
Yeah.
available, the
Yeah.
women that are still doing other stuff, that don't want to commit. These women aren't ready to be in a relationship with you.
Hmm.
And you have to look internally and say, okay, why do these women keep coming around? Why do I keep finding myself being attracted to or committing to these women when they're not ready to commit as well? And when you do your healing, when you make sure you look at the areas and look at patterns
Hmm.
in your life, like, okay, this pattern is consistent. Now, what do I need to do? And a lot of stuff we talk about, and also in the dating for marriage community, where I have master classes where we talk to the guys in there. You can join that so you can really look and see, where do I need to make changes in my life so I don't continue to be attracted to these ladies that aren't available.
Yeah, exactly. So this is for everyone that's watching right now. Whoever you're attracting into your life is just mirroring your energy.
Hmm.
That's it. So what we teach our ladies is, instead of getting upset, and this is for the guys too,
Yeah.
instead of getting upset, you got to take your energy back and be like, okay, why am I attracting these types of people?
Yeah.
And this is what's actually happening is, when you have abandoned yourself, when you have abandoned yourself to people please, to take care of other people, you're going to attract those types of people
Yes.
that abandon you,
Yes.
right? So the key to healing that is that inner child healing of,
Mm.
okay, I'm not going to be abandoning my inner child
Yeah.
anymore. I'm going to be, regulating my nervous system so I feel safe and secure and healthy, with healthy relationships, not with people that are mirroring patterns from childhood
Yes.
where, parents were there or not there, there's a lot of chaos. So you're not doing that anymore, but you basically have to rewire your brain what healthy love is.
Hmm.
You got to rewire your brain of what healthy relationships look and feel like. And if you don't, you'll keep attracting these types of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with men, once you get your healing, what it comes down
Mhm.
to is really the confidence that you have.
Yeah.
Are you confident talking to a different type of woman, or this type of woman, you're familiar with her? So even though it's a lot of chaos, you're confident talking to these type of women, but the relationship never goes where you desire for it to go. So you don't want to live in convenience or
Mhm.
just live in a place where it's like, I don't want to get rejected. Trust me, if you don't get rejected, if like we always say, and this is me and the guys that were just growing up, you miss every shot you don't shoot. So you
Mhm.
have to continue to put yourself in position to go after the woman that you desire, not the woman that you think you can get only.
That's so good. And that just reminds me, this is another thing that we teach our ladies is, if there is somebody that you're really into and the relationship is just not working, ask yourself why, like what are the traits that you really loved about this person.
Mhm.
And it hopefully has to do with like characteristics and like good healthy traits, right? Now you can, there's many other people like that, right? Like we have
Yeah.
8 billion people on the planet. And I can, attest to even our community of women, we have almost 1,000 people. We have almost 500 in the FEA, and then we have over 500 people in the dating for marriage community. And so, and those people are doing a lot of the inner work and inner healing. And that's just in our community. So I mean, when you open it up globally, there's so many people out there that want what you want. So your job is to get energetically aligned and be ready to receive that and not get so attached to somebody
Yes.
that is, doesn't, their energy is not coming towards you.
So good. We have
Yeah.
Shavi Globetrotter says, I definitely need some nervous system regulation and healing.
Yes.
Love you guys. Your videos have been so helpful. Thank you.
So good. Yeah, that is a huge thing that we teach our women where we can go deep. YouTube is all about just, spreading awareness, answer girls' questions, but the Feminine Energy Academy is where we actually go through, like I have multiple programs in there for you where, just as an example, 90-day cortisol detox program, which is about hormones, weight loss, but also nervous system healing
Mm,
and feminine energy. Then we have entire programs where we teach you how to have energetic clarity and calling in your husband, how to release love blocks,
mm,
how to re-regulate your nervous system, understanding your attachment style and how it's showing up, how to heal that, how to heal your relationship around money and receiving.
mm.
That's where you get to go really, really deep. And this is why our women are getting such amazing results.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many women just come in and start binge watching.
Yeah. It's your place to binge
Yes,
watch.
please,
Uh,
definitely.
can
Go
I
ahead.
can I answer a question? Somebody I
Yes.
saw, they were like, "What do you think of Ozempic?"
Okay.
So what I think about Ozempic is, I think in some situations it can be beneficial for sure. But the most important thing, if you are doing is Ozempic, I have a semaglutide video. If you scroll way down on YouTube where I go deep into it, the biggest thing if you're on any semaglutides is that you need to really up your protein in what you're eating, because it can actually make you look old,
Mm,
because you do lose weight, but you waste a lot of muscle. So it's really, really important you're working out, you have high protein, and you're changing your actual identity.
mm.
Because if you don't change your identity, shift your identity, doing like the nervous system re-regulating, all this stuff, you're not going to be able to maintain it.
Yeah.
So once again, that's why I teach the girls in the Feminine Energy Academy that. Yeah.
Definitely so good. And this is Sabilsi Zondo, I believe. So forgive me if I chopped it up. She says, I am not attracting any men since I started my healing journey from last year, September. What am I not doing right?
Ooh, this is good, babe.
Mm,
So I'm really glad you asked that question, because there's a couple things that I'm willing to bet. Okay. If I was to really go deep with you. So on a superficial level, it could be just how you're dressing and how you're looking, like with your hair, body, stuff like that. But let's assume you are looking like a babe. Okay. And you're doing your inner healing and you're still not attracting men. I'm willing to bet that there's a deep subconscious block there where you don't actually feel safe getting married.
mm,
So in the nervous system. So maybe, so this is what a lot of people do is, they're healing, they're reading books, they're getting therapy, but all the knowledge is at your head. It's
mm.
all at a head level. You haven't actually embodied the healing at a nervous system level. And you can tell that you've actually embodied the inner healing. It's not just at a head level,
Yeah.
because people will be attracted to you.
Yes.
It's just how energy works, is when you're healed and you feel safe in your energy as a woman, you become magnetic, right? And so you'll naturally will attract people. So if you've been doing a healing, you've been on an inner healing journey for a year and you look good, like not based on the female gaze, based on the masculine gaze. And if you don't know what we're talking about, this is why you need to be in the Feminine Energy Academy, because we teach you. We're doing a masterclass tomorrow, and if you're watching the replay, you can catch the replay, where we teach you about the masculine gaze, not the feminine gaze, not
Mm.
your girlfriend's telling you you look good,
Yes.
but what triggers the male psychology to be attracted to you. Okay, so work on that, and then actually working on embodying the changes, and I guarantee you'll attract men, because
Yeah.
just all of our women do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And women are so positive with each other that a
Yeah.
lot of times women just don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever the
Yes.
case. But the reality is sometimes getting the information that doesn't feel good
Hmm.
helps you so much more in the long run.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about the Feminine Energy Academy. Not only are they getting your feminine perspective, but also the masculine perspective, where I'm just being straight up with you
Yeah.
in a loving way, but
Yeah.
letting you know the areas in which you may need to make some adjustments,
Hmm.
because we're all in this to get better, to grow, to
Yeah.
get what we desire out of it. And I don't want you wasting your time feeling good, but not being in position to attract that guy that you want, or for your business, or for whatever it is. We want to make sure you get in position in the timing
Yeah.
that's not just dragging out
Yes.
years and years and years.
Yes. Okay. Lazarus. Lazarus.
Ness. Well, Ness says, how
Okay.
do I sign up for the courses? And then I'll
There.
get
There. Okay.
Lazarus. So there goes the link. We just put it down there for you, Meador Support. Put
Yeah.
it there. Lazarus says, I say hurt my feelings. I love truth.
Yeah, so this is what's gonna set you apart.
Mhm.
And this is why we keep telling you dating is so easy nowadays, because most people are walking around, they have no self-awareness.
Mhm.
They're not getting any coaching or feedback, or you're just learning from single people.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you just hope that maybe you'll attract a man. You're reading a book. No,
Mm.
that's not how it works, babe. You want actual feedback. And this is why we created the Feminine Energy Academy. It's just for women. There's no men in there, and it's your safe place.
Yes.
There's no judgment, but we are going to be so honest with you, and we're going to help you. The thing is, we're not going to just be like, oh, you need to lose weight. We have 5 weight loss programs,
Mm.
right? Like, we have 5 inner healing weight loss programs, hormone rebalancing programs in there. We're not going to tell you, oh, this is your attachment
Right.
style. We're going to show you this is your attachment style, and this is how you heal it.
Mhm.
And this is how you heal it in dating. This is how you heal it around your relationship with food, around your body, if you're emotionally eating or numbing. We're going to teach you how to heal it around money and receiving from men. So we're not going to leave you hanging.
Mhm.
We're going to teach you this is what the masculine gaze is looking for. This is how you build attraction in dating and marriage for provider type men. And here are the tools to help you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe it's Next Level Gaming said, why no men? And the thing is, men receive information differently,
Yes.
and men don't necessarily, um, it doesn't work in the same way. But
Yeah.
for women, we want to make sure they have a safe place to come and get the healing, get what they need to move forward. Now, if men were all over, like, okay, let's get together, we would develop a men community. But we
Well, we
do
have the dating for
we do have
marriage.
the dating for marriage,
Yeah.
which is for both, and we do some things for men in there, but this is for the women so they can get the healing, because the way their brain functions, the way they love
Hmm.
community is
Yeah.
just different. Men are more like, okay, I'll get it done on my own. Men aren't really looking for, and this is most
Yeah.
men, they'll read books. Most men will listen to audios on their own, but men don't like being told what to do in a lot
Hmm.
of cases.
Hmm.
So we want to help those that are in position, that want to be helped, and we still have resources for men, but it's just a different approach.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody is even saying, become what you want to attract. And that's exactly it. So that's another thing that we teach our ladies is, first of all, you get the clarity on the exact type of husband
Mhm.
and father, right? Because they're going to be a father or a future father, a bonus dad. You want to have that clarity
Yes.
first. And then the next step in our dating program is you becoming the match.
Yes.
So a lot of women, and we see this all the time, it's so crazy, where women, we were just watching a matchmaking show, and
Oh,
the
that's
lady is
right.
like, okay, I want a guy that, moves me out of my city.
Right.
I want him, to be like this. I want him, and she's like, I want him to have a 6-pack. I want him to be fit. And she was morbidly
Yes.
obese.
Yes.
And she's like a sweet girl, but that just shows you that's such a lack of awareness. Where if you want a certain type of guy, you want a provider, high value man,
Yeah.
then there's certain things that he wants in a woman, right? And it's not about how good of a person you are and how smart you are, how many degrees you have. It's completely different,
Yeah.
right? He wants a woman in her activated in her
Yes.
soft feminine energy,
Yeah.
and looks good. Like, let's
And
just be real.
and is younger. So
Yeah.
all of these things
Yeah.
we let you know, just so you have correct expectations. Now we understand it's always, you always find people that kind of go against the norm,
Mm-hmm.
but we'd rather you know what happens the majority of the time than to wait on stuff that rarely happens, and also to position yourself
Mm-hmm.
so you're in the best position to get what you desire. And Lazaria says critique that comes with solutions is key.
Yeah.
So we definitely agree with that. And one more thing, Love Supreme 92. Looks like Love Supreme 92 and Isabel in our Feminine Energy Academy
Yeah.
are friends and ran
Oh,
into
that's
each
so
other on
cool.
our live
I
stream.
love
So
it.
small world, and it
Yeah.
shows that both of you are on the same journey and looking for similar solutions. So definitely excited that you jumped on our live today, and definitely jump into the Feminine Energy Academy if you're I don't know if that's a lady or a man, but jump into there, the Dating for Marriage community, just so you can continue this journey with us.
And somebody had mentioned finally a feminist that doesn't hate men. And here's the thing, and I just want to touch on that because feminism and femininity are totally different. Like a lot of women that are feminists are actually more in their masculine energy
Mm-hmm.
because feminist is about fighting for your rights, which is what women needed, back in the day to be considered humans, to
Mm-hmm.
have writing or voting rights and stuff like that. So that was needed back then. But what happened is women kind of went so far in their masculine, fighting for their rights, trying to prove their worth, that they became feminists, and
Mm-hmm.
which is very masculine energy.
Yeah.
That's very different than feminine energy. Feminine energy is your ability to receive, and feminine energy is soft, and feminine energy 100% respects the masculine. It
Mm.
admires the masculine, it appreciates the masculine. So that is a big thing that we teach our ladies, is how to make a man feel respected, how to make him feel
Yes.
appreciated, even just with the tone of your voice, even with your body language, even with just how you're communicating with him in dating and in marriage. That's a huge part of the Feminine Energy Academy, because that's an important skill set that most of us women were not taught
Mm.
because we were raised by the masculine, independent, single moms, right?
And it's
Yeah.
so good because you see ladies that have even been married for years that are in the
Yeah.
Feminine Energy Academy, and they're making these adjustments and their husbands are loving it. Their
Yeah.
husbands are noticing,
Yeah.
they're pointing this out like something, whatever you're listening to, continue.
Yeah, they
And
love
even
it.
sometimes the guys are in the background listening and agreeing and like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, that's true. So just even this is for all ladies that are looking to grow in relationships and in your health and with your money. This is something that works for the ladies in our
Yeah.
community. And this is something that can work for you to help you change. Because what we hear so much, as well as I've been praying, I've been looking
Yes.
for something like this. I'm so happy I stumbled upon this channel. So even if you're on the channel, this is this is not just something you stumbled upon. This is
Yeah.
something divine. And you definitely want to get all you came for
Yeah.
in here.
Yes.
Okay, this is Isabel. She says, it's so essential, and I'm so grateful to be deepening my knowledge on how to truly show deep respect to the man
Mhm.
in general, and especially the future special man in our life.
This is why it's so easy to stand out as a
Mm.
woman, because so many women are so triggered and they don't realize it. They don't have the awareness. And it comes across like, you think that men don't notice, but it's how you write the text message. It's they feel your energy,
Mm.
right? It's how you're conversating with him. It's how you're talking with him,
Yes.
FaceTiming with him,
Yes.
just being like how he's feeling in your presence. He might not tell you, ladies, but if you're not feeling safe and secure in your nervous system and having fun and enjoying yourself, and you're just triggered by like the littlest things, and you could be, and trigger could be like you're feeling anxious,
Yes.
you're feeling offended by what he's saying, you're all up in your head,
Mm.
you're all up in your head, masculine energy, overthinking, overanalyzing, feeling overwhelmed. That's all masculine energy. So this is when you could be absolutely gorgeous, but if you're experiencing these triggers and that masculine energy, he's going to be subconsciously repelled by you. He's not going to be attracted to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, definitely so good. Zeri says, yep. Tone is definitely discernment for men.
Yes. And these are things I had to work on, where I didn't have the self-awareness, right? And so I had to really work on my
Mm.
triggers. I had to work on my tone, how I talk to my
Yeah.
husband, right? And those things didn't happen until I
Mm.
healed my nervous system, because your attachment style is attached to your nervous system. So if your nervous system is dysregulated, then we got to also, heal that attachment style, because it's all interrelated with each other.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is stuff that's ongoing because if you grew up in an environment like we did,
Yes.
growing up on the west side of Chicago in the North Lawndale community, and all you hear your parents, even though they were great parents, but their
Yeah.
language is a certain way. The way they talk to each other
Mm-hmm.
wasn't necessarily something that I wanted moving
Yeah.
forward in my marriage. So sometimes things come out, and it's being able to address it in the right timing, apologize, do whatever's needed, but understand that we're growing. And as long as you're seeing that growth and not going overboard, disrespecting each other, then it's something that can be worked on because we've definitely had a couple of instances where we had to catch ourselves like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can't respond in that old way. I
Mm-hmm.
have to respond differently. Or if I'm avoiding, okay, I have to talk to her and let her know how I'm feeling and not just like go disappear somewhere and just say, well, I was upset. No,
Yeah.
that's not the way you move if you're healed and if you're really in it for the right reasons.
Yes. We were just watching Barbershop 2.
Yeah,
And because that's from the early 2000s. That is a perfect example. I mean, obviously it's an amazing movie. It's so funny,
exactly.
but it's a perfect example of just our old mindsets and how
Yeah.
we used to talk to each
Yeah.
other, right? The masculine, the feminine.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
don't do that. If you want to stay single, then just go watch that movie. And
Yes.
if you see yourself acting like that, that's why you're single.
Yes. And we have
So
a question, I believe, but Yellow's area is from the rough side of Chicago. Anybody who's from there from the west side. Natural Beauty Tisa, who's in our Feminine Energy Academy, she said, I had a man just start talking to me the other day while I was waiting on a food order.
Of course you did.
He just opened up to me and was telling me about his family life.
See, Tisa's in the FEA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your energy, babe, your energy is so soft and warm. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah.
Not at all. And a lot of times it's not necessarily even, and it's good that Tisa's in a Feminine Energy Academy because she understands. But a lot of times, men, it's not that he's sexually attracted to you because he's trying to talk to you. Sometimes your energy is just so good
Mhm.
that people just want to talk to you. So great job of receiving it and just being grateful for it. But that's the energy that she's carrying. Definitely.
Yes, so good. All right.
Me
Are you
too.
guys doing anything exciting for July 4th? By the way, this is my first American July 4th. So I'm just curious if you guys are doing anything.
Yes.
And because we're going to be logging off here soon.
Yes, we're going to be well. We'll answer a couple
Okay.
more, but definitely want to let you guys get to your barbecuing, and we have to get to what we're doing as well. That's a good seg. How much of an open book should you be as a man?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yes. Well, first, definitely you want to share like when you're talking to and getting to know a woman, you want to share things that you enjoy, your hobbies.
Yeah.
You even want to share like what you're doing work wise, but as far as opening up and going deep into family issues, family trauma, job issues, job trauma, how much money you're making, you want to make sure that the relationship is going in that direction instead of just like, okay, she has good vibes, so I'm
Hmm.
just going to open all the way
Yeah.
up to her. No, because when you do that, a lot of times that can come across as you being emotional or weak or not being that masculine energy that she desires. And I believe this is subconscious for the women too. When guys just talk too much or they feel so comfortable, they start going too deep. Sometimes that can be a turnoff for women. So definitely you want to share where you're at in your life, work wise, where you're at family, but you don't want to go too deep when you're just in the beginning of getting to know her.
Yeah, this is really good. Okay, so for the guys that are just starting to date, the masculine energy is about structure, about direction.
Mhm.
So she's going to be really attracted to the man that is coming up, showing up consistently, and showing that he has structure and direction in his life. So you can talk about the direction, you can talk about your vision, you can talk about the stuff that you're doing currently. Don't open up about your past and
Yeah.
all. Don't talk about your exes ever.
Yeah.
This is for the ladies and the guys. Don't talk about your exes. Don't talk. I mean, you can say, I was divorced, or you could say, ended my last relationship 5 years ago,
Yeah.
or that part's okay. But people can smell
Yes.
if you're still stuck in your past, and it'll be the biggest turnoff to the opposite sex. Okay.
Mm.
So that's really, really important. And the biggest thing for the masculine is that he is really creating this space for the woman to open up and feel vulnerable. So she can open up and talk a little bit more about, maybe her past a little bit, or maybe not so much her past, but what she's working on.
Mm.
And so she can feel safe to communicate with you
Yeah.
and have fun.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, just have fun.
So many more questions. If we're not able to get to your questions, definitely just jump into the Feminine Energy Academy.
Aw,
Message us.
listening, Rosie.
Message us. We'll get back to you. But definitely appreciate you all jumping on this 4th of July. But what did Rosie say, babe?
It's right there.
Rosie, just want to say hello. I always watch you guys
Hi,
because of my
Rosie.
divorce. I was totally in my masculine. Now
Mhm.
that I look back,
Yeah.
thank you for confirming.
Yes, so many women. I mean, if you're a woman watching this and you're going through a divorce, you've gone through a divorce, by default, you're in your masculine.
Mm.
Because being in the masculine for the woman is your nervous system, your energy doesn't feel safe. So by default, you will lean into your masculine energy. That's the doing energy. And we all have masculine, feminine energies, by the way, all of us. But women will feel better. They will look better, and they will attract a masculine energy man if she's more in her feminine energy. Yeah. Oh man, there's so much
Definitely.
more, but
I
I won't
know.
get into it.
Thanks for jumping on, everyone who did. Nadia, Geralt, everyone. Hope to see you on the Feminine Energy
Tomorrow.
Academy, and then tomorrow for our master class. So the
Yes.
master class is only for those that are in the Feminine Energy Academy. So if you want to be a part of it, jump in, free 7-day trial now. And can you kind of let them know what we're going over?
Yeah, so tomorrow, so every Saturday in the Feminine Energy Academy, we have a coaching session. So that's where we're coaching you ladies. So that's your safe place to get feedback from us. So tomorrow we're going into how to boost your attractiveness and polarity in just in your life in general. We're going to talk about your body, hormones, your nervous system, feeling safe and secure. If you're more of an anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, we're going to talk about the masculine gaze and what the male is attracted to. So it's going to be so fun. Plus, if you want just feedback from us on how you can spice up how you look, and you want Coach B's opinion, my opinion, and then also the tools to help you for your glow up, then you definitely want to jump in and just binge watch that. But even today, you can jump in, and we have a whole bunch of trainings in there that you can start
Yes.
binge watching today. And the other thing I was going to mention, once you jump in, you're going to get a private message from me, and I'm going to be asking you, just what your story is, what are you looking for, and you can tell me so I can get you started. Because there is what people tell us, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet in the Feminine Energy Academy. So there's a lot in there,
Yes.
and so I want to know exactly what it is you want to focus on, so I can give you the videos and the programs and the training to get started right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and as me Adora support, put all of the masterclass replays are in the
Yes.
Feminine Energy Academy.
Yeah.
So definitely appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll also I'll repin to the top the attachment style quiz if you're curious what your attachment style is, and it comes with an action plan on things that you can do to heal that. Yeah. Anyway, I love you girls.
Love you.